He sent you a nasty text recently. What was that text?
It was basically him saying that he's not my father and it's other two other people.
You're in love.
This poor baby, you see the tears starting to fall already. It just breaks my heart.
It's really been hard. I don't express my feelings a lot.
Yeah.
I try to keep it down, but everything that's been happening lately, he's been kept going on and on about the situation. I didn't care at first, but then like the last thing that he said, it really
Come on with the K necklace and the K logo.
really broke me a lot.
When do you remember Rashard first denying you?
I was around 11, 12,
Yeah.
but my mom said it was even younger than that, but I don't have no memory of all of that happening.
So I know that my producer said he sent you a nasty text recently. What was that text?
It was basically him saying that he's not my father and it's other two other people.
You're in love.
This poor baby, you see the tears starting to fall already. It just breaks my heart. In the moment, y'all, I have to be so stoic because I have to make sure that I'm listening, I'm being objective, I'm taking notes. That's just the way I've been trained. But in my mind, once I get home and when I watch it back, I just get emotional because it just breaks my heart. Look at this baby crying. Did you get a text like that?
I see how a lot of people
I get a text like that?
I think it's just with me, to be honest. He shows emotion with different people more than he shows emotion with me.
Yeah. You took a DNA test.
Yes,
Do you think he's your father?
I do.
And now it's time to hear from her mother, Keyonna, to get her side of the story. Do you have any doubt that Rashard is her father?
I do not have no doubts. I was 15 years old. Like, okay, I was pregnant at 15, but I don't have no doubts whatsoever.
So when did he start denying her?
She started denying her, I could say around like 7 years old, but she like basically, they did another DNA around like 11 years old. So that's when everything should start going left.
So I'm confused. So at 11 years old, he did a DNA test.
Yes.
Then why are we still here questioning this?
Because he did not go through with it.
Okay.
That's
so,
my issue. He did not go through with it because I feel like he know she his.
Got it.
Every other 2 years, he like, oh, it's not my baby. Then another 2 years, it's my baby. Then another 2 years, it is my baby. It's getting confusing.
Confusing, it's getting tiring.
Have you ever said to him there could be another man that's possibly the father?
That deep breath will always tell you the truth gonna come. Because someone's like, it's like they're thinking, should I lie or should I tell the truth? And luckily she told the truth, which then gives us clarity on why this behavior started, but it doesn't excuse it.
Right now, I want to bring out the alleged father, Rashard, to hear his side of the story. Good to meet you. Good to see you.
What up, baby daddy?
You sent a text to your daughter.
Yep. Yes.
Do you think that text? Do you think that text is a loving text?
It wasn't appropriate at all. But this is why.
Then why did you send it?
The problem that I have here is anytime someone tries to defend negative behavior or negative language, especially when you say it to a kid, it's because you're an adult. You know better. And I understand. He just said out of his own mouth, my feelings were hurt. So just because you're hurt doesn't give you the authority or the right to be able to hurt someone else, especially not a child, whether or not you're questioning if it's your child or not. There's never been someone in my life where I'm like, it's a child here that I don't know better than to say certain things to them. To go find your real daddy, like, you can reserve that conversation for the mother. And I think sometimes in co-parenting situations, we forget that we say things to the child that should only be said to other adults. And this is a prime example. You can have this conversation all day long with the mother because you two were adults, you were there when it happened, you can share your doubts, but never project it onto a child because the child doesn't deserve that.
Excuse my language.
He sent that text message. Me and him was on the phone for like a whole hour. Say we wasn't.
We were.
Okay.
And I told my girl that. And I told my girl that.
I asked you.
Yeah.
I asked you not to say nothing to Keyarra. Didn't I tell you that? And I told you I was gonna talk to her.
You don't tell me what to do.
Okay, but you be disrespectful to my
Rashard,
daughter.
I want to know this. What will you do if she's not your daughter?
I'm gonna still
Move
be there for her.
around. No, you're not. Move around.
This is, even if I want to be there, move around now. You get me? This is what I've been going through
I'm
since she was a
tired
kid.
of this.
You're not the father.
I get
I'm
that.
tired.
You're not the father.
All right, listen, everyone.
Angel was having sex with the baby. Stop
All right,
it.
everyone. Listen, when we come back, we'll find out whether or not
And you was
Rashard.
having sex with me
You
too,
a
huh?
slut.
Hold on.
You see this back and forth between the two of them where they're now calling each other names. It's because they've been in a cycle of always talking about each other, always got you, I'm at you, doing this, that they've always lost sight of the child. That's why there's a child sitting on my stage crying, because if they were mature enough, they would have said, oh, this is not about us. This is about her getting the answers. This is about her getting truth. But instead, they've been in this cycle of like, well, I'm going to do to you what you did to me, and I'm going to hurt you because you're hurting me. And I think in co-parenting situations, again, when that cycle starts, someone has to be mature enough to say, you know what? I know you want to attack me, and I'm sure that I want to attack you, but it's not about us. It's about this child. And that's when you are able just to write down, this is a tip I give to anybody, any co-parents, write down 3 things that you all can agree on that this child needs to be better. Once you can do that, it doesn't matter if y'all keep going back and forth, because at least now y'all have clarity on what y'all need to work on together to make sure this child has a healthy life. And also just make sure you don't do that in front of the child. But you see, they've been in a cycle back and forth. It's just like, you know, they're never going to stop this lack of communication and this negative communication until they find answers. That's why I had to sit here and have a little one-on-one with him, man to man, all right? Sometimes don't let me start a daddy boot camp, because sometimes I got to sit there and tell these fathers like, hey, let me check in, because I don't know what you over here doing, but it ain't cute. It ain't cute.
What I'm saying right now is that you had a history of not having people there for you, not having support. That's the only reason a young man ends up in those situations.
Well, I
You
ended
didn't
up
have
in
the
those
love and
situations
support.
because I grew up without a father.
You just repeated what I said. I said you were 16 years old with no support. I heard it.
How'd you know that?
Because I can see the way you're acting. I'm trained in this.
So one of the things that I always do on the show is I talk about my own personal life, my own personal story. And so when I said to him, like, I see you, that you were a 16-year-old parent, I understand what you went through. You see his shock because he feels seen. And the reason I do that is because people need to understand, like, there's no judgment coming from you. I understand. I get it. But just because I get where you've been doesn't mean that you can't be better. And I think that's the most important thing. I get where you've been, but you can still be better. You can show up in this moment for yourself and for this potential child. And I think that's what we need to remind people, is that I see you. See, when you start judging, and you see he got real relaxed real quick. Let me tell you something, I didn't mind this. Everybody, y'all on social media were like, look how he laid out on this couch. I enjoy it, okay? It was like he felt very comfortable with me. Let me kick my legs up, because that means we're friends now. We're having a conversation, and you're receiving me. You're not tense, you're relaxed. And for me, that type of body language means I've got you, and now we can start to build on that and start to get you to start to communicate in an honest and healthy way with your child.
Why did you feel like you need to walk off?
Because I know myself with him.
She's going to be a beautiful young woman because both her parents are very attractive.
For that.
That man fine as hell.
Here goes the results.
She pretty too. She got like a really pretty eye. Little girl's gonna be pretty.
You scared, huh?
No,
Take a
not
seat,
at all.
take a seat, take a
not
seat.
at all.
No.
I'm not.
And when
Hey!
Woo! Can I have that?
So the problem that I have with his reaction is that don't come out here doing all this stuff, saying, I don't know. I appreciate him getting on his knees, but like that first little jump, like you weren't excited before. And that's gonna cause trust issues in this little girl, because one minute you said you're not excited, next minute you're excited. It's gonna be like, well, what do I trust in life? I do appreciate him like begging and correcting really quickly, and you see this little girl, all she wants is her daddy. That's all she wants. All she wants is for him to be seen, to be loved by him. And let me tell you something, this has saved her years of negative relationships with men or partners because of this moment. Y'all have no idea. The thing is, y'all see on a moment where y'all got a DNA outcome. What I saw right here is years of abuse, years of accepting certain behavior just washed away. Trust me, after doing this for so long, when someone is able to get answers and validation and love and support from a parent that rejected them, that comes back and apologizes and shows up, trust me, the decision making that this little girl is going to exhibit for the rest of her life is going to be based on this moment. Because now she's going to start to understand that she deserves love, she deserves validation, she deserves respect. And it started right here. So this was a big moment. And even look at the father. It broke now because he knew that his behavior was bad, and now he's trying to be there. Look how he's holding on the little girl's hand. I just know and I pray that this family is working together and that they are all doing well, because this little girl needs a full family unit. Look at them. She got her vindication as well, and I appreciate that. No, I love this family. They're sweet. They're sweet, and I wish them the best.